Today we will be discussing COVID-19 and how it impacts nutrition-related diseases. We will also go over how we can improve our health and decrease our risk of severe complications related to COVID-19. COVID-19, also known as coronavirus disease 2019, is a new disease caused by a coronavirus that has not previously been seen in humans. Like the flu, it spreads from person to person through respiratory droplets or small particles that are produced when an infected person coughs, sneezes, talks, sings, or breathes. Although the inhalation of these droplets or particles into the airways is the main way the virus is thought to be spread, it can also be spread by touching surfaces or objects that has the virus on it and then touching your nose, mouth, or eyes. As of November 2020, there have been over 50 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 globally. In the United States, there has been over 10 million total cases and over 175,000 cases in Massachusetts. There are a wide range of symptoms associated with COVID-19, ranging from mild to severe. Anyone can experience some or all symptoms of varying severity. These symptoms include fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, diarrhea, fatigue, headache, muscle or body aches, congestion or runny nose, and nausea or vomiting. There are also some people who may be infected with the virus but never experience any symptoms at all. If symptoms are present, they can develop any time between 2 to 14 days after exposure. Most cases develop within 4 to 5 days. Although anyone, including healthy individuals, can get COVID-19, there are population groups at higher risk of becoming severely ill if they contract the disease. These groups include older adults aged 65 years and older, and adults with the following conditions: type 2 diabetes, cancer, obesity and severe obesity, pregnancy, chronic kidney disease, COPD, sickle cell disease, heart conditions, smokers, and anyone with an immunocompromised state. There are also adults who might be at an increased risk. These include those with asthma, hypertension, liver disease, overweight, type 1 diabetes, cerebrovascular disease, pulmonary fibrosis, thalassemia, and neurologic conditions. Additionally, reports have shown that more males than females have contracted the disease. However, anyone, regardless of gender, is still at risk. Among this long list of medical conditions and disease states, the most common diseases that have been identified with COVID-19 are diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. Let's explore how each of these diseases increases one's risk. Those with existing heart diseases, especially coronary artery disease and heart failure, are at a higher risk of infection and developing severe complications as a result of COVID-19. Severe complications include hospitalization, admission to the ICU, insertion of a breathing tube for ventilation, or death. When we get a virus, the increase in immune system functioning can add additional stress to the heart, and if someone has heart disease, this can cause more damage. This is the main reason heart disease is associated with greater risk of severe complications or death with COVID-19. However, it isn't the only way that COVID-19 can negatively affect the health of individuals with heart diseases. The American Heart Association suggests that heart attacks and strokes are common complications of viral infections, and case reports of COVID-19 patients with heart diseases found that these patients had higher levels of CVD biomarkers in the body and lower ejection fraction, which are characteristic of severe heart complications. Now, moving on to hypertension. Hypertension, or high blood pressure, may be linked to a higher risk for severe and fatal outcomes in COVID-19. This is based on the fact that hypertension, which can affect the arteries in your lungs and the right side of your heart, especially if hypertension is uncontrolled or worsening, is associated with some viral infections. It is hypothesized that the overactivation of the system that regulates blood pressure, fluids, and electrolytes in the body results in increased damage to the heart and lungs in COVID-19 patients with high blood pressure, which can then lead to worse health outcomes. Diabetes is a group of diseases that results in too much glucose in the blood. A person with type 2 diabetes has an increased risk of hospitalization and death due to COVID-19. It is known that poorly controlled diabetes is a risk factor for various infectious diseases. High blood sugar levels and overweight and obesity are likely to play a role in the increased risk associated with diabetes and COVID-19. Thus, it is especially important to properly manage and treat diabetes, as well as other chronic conditions during this time. The pandemic has highlighted the importance of good nutrition and a healthy lifestyle to decrease our risk of developing severe complications related to COVID-19. Eating a poor diet can weaken our immune system and make us more vulnerable to illness and disease. There are several components in our foods that contribute to the maintenance of our immune system. Vitamins and minerals have essential roles in several biological pathways in the body. Additionally, research has shown that unhealthy eating patterns that are high in calories, sugar, fat, salt, red meat, refined grains, and processed and prepackaged foods have negative long-term health effects. These include increased development of chronic illnesses and health problems, but also in weakening our immune system and its ability to fight off infections and disease. Thus, consuming a well-balanced diet is key to strengthening the immune system and supporting optimal health. Additionally, an unhealthy body weight also causes distress and damage to the body, thereby weakening its defenses and making it more vulnerable to an infection or illness. This increases the risk of severe complications and disease, regardless of any underlying medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure. Thus, maintaining or working towards a healthy body weight is also an important factor for everyone to consider. It is important to know the components of a well-balanced diet in order to adapt our lifestyles to align more closely with healthful eating patterns. It can also be useful to know the benefits that a balanced diet provides. A well-balanced diet is one that contains whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Some of the many benefits that a balanced diet offers is related to fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins and minerals, many of which contain anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Whole grains contain fiber, which act as food for healthy gut bacteria, maintains bowel health, helps control blood sugar levels, and can lower cholesterol levels. Another word for micronutrients is vitamins and minerals. So far, most research on vitamin interaction is with other viral infections. There is not a lot of published research studying the effects of vitamin intake or supplementation on COVID-19 yet. However, several studies and trials are underway. Based on studies with other viruses, research has shown that deficiencies of the micronutrients listed here may be associated with impaired immune response. Thus, it is important for us to ensure we are consuming adequate intakes of these micronutrients to prevent any deficiencies and the associated effects. Shown next to each vitamin or mineral on this chart are examples of good food sources of each. For vitamin C, this includes citrus fruits, tomatoes, potatoes, broccoli, and red and green peppers. Sources of vitamin D include fatty fish, liver, eggs, and dairy products. Good sources of zinc include oysters, red meat, poultry, beans, nuts, and whole grains. Most B vitamins can be found in a variety of food sources, including both plant and animal sources. And lastly, good sources of omega-3s include fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, anchovies, tuna, and mackerel, nuts and seeds such as flaxseed, chia, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds, and plant oils such as soybean oil, canola oil, and flaxseed oil. Currently, there is no evidence for the benefit of greater intake of micronutrients to prevent or improve COVID-19. So there is no need for supplementation if you meet the adequate intakes of most nutrients on a daily basis through diet alone. Therefore, your goal would be to exercise daily and follow a well-balanced diet. By incorporating a good balance of fruits, vegetables, grains, and protein into your diet at each meal, you will be more than likely to meet the recommended intakes of nutrients each day. Aim for making half your plate fruits and vegetables, half your grains whole grains, choosing low-fat or fat-free dairy products, and having a source of protein with every meal. In doing so, you should be able to maintain a healthy weight and support a healthy lifestyle, which will set you up for optimal health. Remind pantry shoppers to choose healthy food from all of the food groups. For more information on how to follow a well-balanced diet, go to choosemyplate.gov. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please email the nutrition team at the Greater Boston Food Bank at nutrition@gbfb.org.